Say hello to Smeargle, the painter Pokemon. This Pokemon's back from being banned and it was released in the Indigo Disc, and it came out in Gen 2, and yeah, it's a menace to society. I don't like it. I really don't like it. Basically, this Pokemon, it has the signature move sketch and pretty much allows you to make any moveset that you want ever. You can get as creative as you can. Pair that with its Moody ability, it can re-increase its stats by 2 randomly and also lowers one of its stats by 1. Its stats aren't that great to begin with, but it has a pretty solid speed stat, so if you invest into that with its EVs, you could take advantage of that with a good move like Tailwind or something like that to capitalize on it. So without any further ado, let's go hop in and look at the teams. So let's kick things off with Kevo's team. It's just a team that actually showcases a Smeargle. He has a really cool strategy here. He has Spore on it, Burning Bulwark from the Gouging Fire, Blood Moon for Stab, and the Fertile Parade. You probably wonder why you want Fertile Parade, because it capitalizes on the Burning Bulwark's signature ability, which burns anybody that touches the Protect pretty much. So if you're burned and use a Fertile Parade, it does extra damage. So it's just pretty solid move set, and it's super destructive. It's super destructive. Furthermore, let's hop into my team. The team that we got right here is a Sun-based team. We got the Torkoal and Incineroar. I really wanted to capitalize on the Venusaur with his Chlorophyll in the first match that we battled. That's not going to showcase in this video. I was able to pretty much sweep most of his team, but his Smeargle was able to stall me out in the end. So I'm not going to show you guys 5 minutes of Smeargle stalling. So let's hop right into the battle right here. So yeah, I think in the last match, I think I led with a Whimsicott and Torkoal, just because I expected him to lead with his Whimsicott. I wanted to taunt his Whimsicott, but his actually outsped mine, so I wasn't able to capitalize on that. So for this match, I decided to just go straight for the Gastrodon and the Torkoal, hoping to just like double down on the Whimsicott, because I was really just trying to avoid the Whimsicott from using Tailwind. That's all I really wanted to do, was just stop the Whimsicott from using Tailwind. So I wanted to get rid of it as fast as I can. And like I said in the previous match, he loved the Whimsicott, so I was kind of predicting him to do the same thing again in this match. So just like I predicted, he led with the Whimsicott and the Dragonite. I wasn't expecting the Dragonite, honestly, but that's okay. I think my biggest downfall for this lead was forgetting that my Gastrodon is extremely slow. This Gastrodon really does well with like Tailwind or like Trick Room. So I just go for the Ice Beam and I go for the Heat Wave. His Whimsicott just decimates my Gastrodon. So within like 30 seconds, I'm already down 1 Pokemon. Because his Whimsicott is super fast and super strong. His Dragonite goes for the Dragon Dance. He's obviously trying to set up. I don't want that to happen. I go for the Heat Wave, and of course, the Pokemon that I really want to hit avoids the attack. So I'm down 1 Pokemon, and his Pokemon are very healthy right now, looking pretty good. So right here, I was trying to decide when to bring in, or who to bring in. I was thinking about bringing in Incineroar for just that Intimidate drop, but I wasn't sure how physical his Dragonite was. I didn't really know his moveset like that. So I think I decided to bring in the Charizard right here just because it has Dragon Pulse. And yeah, I think that's what I did. I figured, if anything, I could probably take a hit and just knock out the Dragonite, you know, with Dragon Pulse. It has a little bit of chip damage already from the Heat Wave. I could probably finish it off. So that's exactly what I did. I go for the Dragon Pulse right here onto the Dragonite. Bada bang, bada boom. And then I go for the Heat Wave once more, just to try to get rid of this daggone Whimsicott. So it sets out Tailwind, which is the last thing I wanted it to do. And he goes for the Earthquake. And that kind of works in my favor because now his Focus Sash doesn't work on his Whimsicott anymore. I remember he had Focus Sash from the last match. I go for the Dragon Pulse right here, was able to KO the Dragonite, which is awesome. And then I go for the Heat Wave with my Torkoal coming up. Yeah, here we go. Boom. I was able to knock out his Whimsicott. So now he's down 2 Pokemon, I'm down 1 Pokemon, and I'm feeling pretty confident. I was feeling really confident at this point. I'm like, look, little double KO, little revenge kill. I'm feeling pretty good, you feel me? And then he sends out the menace to society, the freaking Smeargle, and I'm terrified. Now, I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just focused all my attacks into the Picasso right here, but like I said, it's like a Trojan horse. You don't really, it's like very unassuming at first, the Smeargle, and you're like, it's just a Smeargle, like what can it do? And then you focus on the what you think is a threat, and that's the Primate. So he goes for the Spore here, puts my Torkoal to sleep. With the Tailwind up, he's taking advantage of that. The Primate goes for the Rage Fist, and it does a little bit of chip damage right here on my Charizard, not too much. And I go for the Air Slash and completely knock out the Primate, right? So I'm like I said, at this point, I was feeling confident. In hindsight, I should have just went for the Smeargle because it's honestly the biggest disruptor on his team. And I know that from the last match. I don't know what I was thinking. So the Moody kicks in, he gets a little speed boost, and his attack falls. So now he pretty much outspeeds everyone on my team with that Tailwind up. And I'm sure Kevo probably put a lot of investment into his Smeargle. He brings up the Ceruledge. The Ceruledge was kind of the ace in his last match. So I wanted to get rid of it as fast as I could. So right here, I was thinking about switching. I know the Spore is coming. I know the Spore is coming. This is another blunder I made. I knew the Spore is coming for my Charizard. He's gonna outspeed everything else. He's gonna try to put my Charizard to sleep and just take advantage of that. So I was like, I'm gonna bring in a grass type Pokemon to disrupt that. And I misclick right there and bring in my Incineroar. The goal was to bring in Incineroar and a grass type Pokemon. And I brought Incineroar in on the wrong slot. And I put the Whimsicott in on the other slot. And the reason why I brought the Whimsicott in was not only to take the Spore, but also to set up Taunt so we can stop sporing all my Pokemon. So just a misclick on my end. So I send in Incineroar, get the Intimidate off, take back my Torkoal, and out comes my Whimsicott, Koofy. And yeah, just a misclick, just a blunder. So he spored my Incineroar, which I was predicting in that slot. And it should have went to my Whimsicott, so it could have nullified that, but it doesn't matter now. It's too late. He goes for the Bitter Blade, and a little bit of chip damage on my Incineroar. Not too worried about it. Moody kicks in again, and now his attack gets raised, and special defense falls, which kind of works in my favor because most of my Pokemon are special attackers for the most part. So here we go with the... What did I go for just then? I go for the Taunt into the Picasso. And then I think I went with Snarl. Burning Bulwark kicks in. Luckily for me, Taunt is not a physical attack. So it goes right through the Burning Bulwark, which is awesome. And the Bitter Blade goes in and just completely decimates my Whimsicott. And I was upset. Now that Whimsicott's gone, and my Incineroar is asleep, I'm looking in like, I'm in a really bad spot. I was able to get the Taunt off, so now he can't sport any more of my Pokemon. The Tailwind is gone, but his Moody kicks in again. So he gets a little stat increase, little stat drop. At this point, I don't know where this thing's stats are at. It's probably all over the place. I don't even want to bother looking. I should have probably brought in my Venusaur at this point to try to set up, which would have been the better play, but I decided to bring in my Charizard just so I can just like, I was really at this point, now I was really focused on taking out the Smeargle because I don't know why, like now I saw it as a threat. Like at this point in the match, I really saw it as a threat. So unfortunately for me though, as I was trying to attack it, as you see coming up, come on. All right, yeah, so he actually withdraws the Smeargle, and my Air Slash is about to do nothing to it. So another great switch by Kevo right here. He predicted I was gonna go for the Smeargle right there. Metagross eats the Air Slash. Yummy. And then he goes in for the Bitter Blade, and for some reason my Charizard cannot take any hits from that Bitter Blade, man. He has no defense at all. So Charizard's gone. Incineroar is just taking a nap. Metagross is in. Ceruledge is in. Two scary Pokemon. At this point, I was like, I don't have any hard hitters besides Venusaur. My Torkoal is asleep. If I throw Torkoal in, he's probably just gonna get KO'd. Venusaur is my best bet, right? Wrong, bro. Like, oh man, I don't know what I could have done at this point. So I sent out the Venusaur. And Incineroar is still asleep. It's very annoying. That darn Smeargle is just a freaking, just disrupts every team if you get the right moveset on it. So I go for the Terra Poison on my Venusaur just because it helped out in the last match. I know for a fact that I'm going to outspeed with my chlorophyll. So the goal for me is just to Terra, get rid of my fire type weakness because of his Ceruledge, and go for the earth power to try to knock out the Metagross. This Metagross, I didn't realize was assault vested and ate that special defensive, special attacking earth power. He goes in for the Bitter Blade, goes in for the Psychic Fangs, and down goes Frazier. My Venusaur is done for. Wasted switch. I wish I could have had a chance to let him set up, but I really, honestly, had no way around that Metagross with that assault vest, man. It's not much you can do. So I'll bring in Torkoal because it's the only option I have left. And here comes Torkoal. Both my Pokemon are asleep. He still has 3 Pokemon. I think I went for the Snarl once more right here. Yeah, I think I went for the Snarl right here. And then I went for the Earth Power right here with Torkoal onto the Ceruledge. Yeah, the Ceruledge. So the goal for me here was just hope that I wake up. There's not really much I can do besides just hope that I can wake up. So he goes in for the Psychic Terra Metagross to get rid of his weakness. He obviously expects either the Heat Wave or the Earth Power to come. He gets rid of his Steel type weakness. Bitter Blade comes through, and surprisingly, Torkoal just eats that. Nice little chip damage. And he goes in for the Hammer Arm here. And here's the part that really upset me. It's like, if you get hit right here, Incineroar, in your sleep, why are you eating while you sleep? Just wake up. Just wake up. And I was screaming at my Switch when this happened, and then boom, he woke up. He woke up. So here he is. I go for the Snarl, does nothing. And the special attack drop, this doesn't really matter because they're both physical attackers. Now my Torkoal is still asleep, and the sunlight fades. So everything's looking pretty daunting for me, unfortunately. So right here, I decided to just go for the Flare Blitz, just because, why not? That's the best attack I have to get rid of his Metagross. And then I was gonna go for the Earth Power right here onto the Ceruledge in case I woke up. So he goes for the Terra Blast. It's neutral right now, and it does nothing. We eat that. I go for the Flare Blitz. Boom, knocks out his Metagross. And right here, I'm feeling pretty confident, slightly once more. Slightly confident, slightly confident. I would have really been good if Torkoal would have woke up this turn, but he didn't. So yeah, he's just snoozing. It would have been really good if he would have woke up this turn, but he didn't. It's okay though. So only Pokemon left he has now is the Smeargle, my favorite. So there goes the Smeargle. At this point, I'm pretty much like, there's not much I can do. I was checking to see if his taunt was still up, and it wasn't. So I go for the Flare Blitz right here, just because that's the only thing I can really do. And then I go for the Earth Power onto the Ceruledge with my Torkoal right here. And then he actually goes for the Burning Bulwark. I was surprised he didn't try to put my Pokemon to sleep. Goes for the Burning Bulwark, and then the Terra Blast on the Ceruledge, which does nothing to my Incineroar. And then I go for the Flare Blitz. He protects with the Burning Bulwark. And then Torkoal finally wakes up right here, and then he goes for the Earth Power. Unfortunately for me, it was not enough to knock out the Ceruledge. If I could have knocked that Ceruledge out, I probably would have won the match. But yeah, the Ceruledge survives, and then I finally go for the Flare Blitz once more right here. And then the Earth Power once again with my Torkoal, just to try to see if I can somehow win this match. Somehow, some way, shape, or form. I was holding out hope and everything to see if I can win this match. And he goes for the Shadow Sneak right there. Torkoal eats that, and then he doubles up with the Blood Moon, Stab Blood Moon, which is insane because this thing's it picked up Ursaluna's Blood Moon, Ursaluna's signature move, which is insane. And then I go for the Flare Blitz right here, knock out his Picasso, and all that's left is a Ceruledge. But unfortunately, me, Flare Blitz has recoil damage, and Incineroar was fainted from that. So that was pretty much it. Smeargle, man, the biggest disruptor on any team, in my opinion. Biggest disruptor on any team. So if you guys enjoyed that match, if you guys want to use Kevo's team, it's up right here again. The code's right here. Take advantage of it. His team is pretty solid, man. He has a Flash Fire Ceruledge, Grass Terra type, Awesome strategy, as you guys already know. Dragon Knights with the multi-scale and a weakness policy, Assault Vest Metagross, Eviolite Primate. You might want to switch that out maybe. He was even saying this Primate kind of like sold the match, low-key. And then it's super fast Whimsicott with Taunt and Tailwind. Guys, I appreciate you like always. Be sure to drop a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. It's free and it really does help. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace and peace out.